So we'll get started. Um, one of the things I want to make everyone aware of is we have the Zoom meetings. So you can click here, and that will take you to this page. Um, I've got I will come up with something a little bit more uniform going forward, but I'm messing around with the thumbnails on this. So Mondays is not required. Wednesdays is when I want everyone to join, and we'll have a discussion. And um, so you can join the meeting here. So the Zoom part, I should just take this off because you can see they have a problem because they're trying to use this email address. If you can see that, they're trying to use that email address, but that is not the email address. You can actually send me email to this address and I'll get it, but it is not the account. It is not what it's connected. My dee.gardner@slcc.edu is the one that's connected to Zoom. So I should just take that off. But anyway, so to get to the Zoom meetings, you just can go to the home, and then click on the Zoom meetings from this. So this week we're talking about the design process. So in here, they have the steps in the design process. They really only have 4 steps in the design process for this book. So they talk about thinking, doing, or thinking and looking, and then doing, and then critique, the process that they're talking about in here. So with the book, you can go through and look at some of these things. I think it's interesting that they're kind of pushing a little bit ideas kind of beyond just art, but most of what they talk about in this is creating art, and then creating art that is going to here. Obviously, the designer here is trying to get your attention, and they're just trying to communicate things with. So thinking, looking, doing, and then critiquing. So you could say maybe this is really they would say a 3 or 4 step design process. But it's interesting, if you look up design processes on the web, you can see that this is a common one here. Define, collect information, brainstorm, analyze, develop feedback, and then improve. So you can hear this is Webflow, 7 simple steps to the web design process. If you can look through, I mean, if we look at the images here, you'll see lots of different numbers of, here's the engineering design process. They've got lots of steps. And so design is not just something that we do in art. It moves into all aspects of our lives. So but we'll focus on the design process for this class, just what we're using in the book. So the first is the getting started. You start to think about it, and then now one of the things they talk about it a little bit in here, but they don't. So part of the thinking is going somewhere, going places for inspiration, to look to see if you can come up with any ideas. We talked about this map last week. Here is, we're looking to nature to come up with it, with some of the design ideas, and there. So this is a plane that lands in the water, and so they think, oh, let's try to make this look like a whale or a fish. Here's a view of like a shaker design, kind of what are they doing here? What kind of ideas can you glean from that? Here they're taking, well, they're suggesting that they're taking the ideas from lichen to design those things. So it's interesting to look to nature for design solutions. People have been watching birds for a long time, and I am not sure why it took people as long as it did to come up with the idea for the way the wing worked. I don't know why people weren't testing that more often. So sometimes I think we're watching things in our own lives and we just don't realize the design process that goes into those things. This is a tower of boxes, but one time I walked into an office and I thought it was a unique solution to a design problem, is they had built desks, but they wanted the desks to be unique. And so what they'd done is, for the legs on the desks, they'd gone to places and gotten old books, glued the books together, and those were the legs of the desk. And I thought that was a unique way to, but that reminded me of this when I see these boxes, is those books that were used as desk legs. So I've done a fair amount of web design in my life, and so I've been coming to this website for like 10 years to get art ideas. So every month they come out with this. Uh, they call it wallpapers now, but it used to be calendars years ago. But you can see that um, people design these, and then they put these up here, and you can see with calendar, without calendar. They put the designs up, and then you can use, if you like these designs, you can use them as wallpapers. I mean, that's what's interesting to see so. And if you wanted to, you could submit a design and they would probably use it, because there's a lot every month. And so designers are submitting these to Smashing Magazine every month. So what I like is the 4K version here is the 3840 by 2160. And I'll just give you a quick overview of, so when I use a 4K TV as my computer monitor. And so you can see I'm only sharing a part of that screen. If you wanted to see, so I'm going to just share really quickly so you can see. So this is kind of my design layout. You can see that I'm only sharing this one quadrant of I'm going to go back to this view. So I like that I appreciate those designers who will add in the bigger screens. So this one must be a Mac user. So because that is the 5K that they talk about with the Mac. So sometimes for art ideas, I just come and look through here. Sometimes I like these and I will swipe these as a potential background for a desktop. Then you can see just in the wallpapers there, just pick a, so you can see This one almost looks like it's AI generated. But there's other places where you can get ideas. Um, there's a website called Pexels that you can go and get. Um, you can go get free pictures to use. There's and Pixabay and Pexels must have combined together because, or maybe it's just that let's look up Pixabay. I don't know why. Yeah, there we go. So just more photos here. But then there's another one where you can go to get inspiration for things. So Flat Icon is a place. So some of these are free. Um, but this is another place to come and get ideas for icons. So in Figma is a web design tool, but it's also a design tool, and you can use it to do a lot of things. So if there's a web design class, and I am integrating Figma into the web design class. But anyway, there's lots of places you can go to help on this thinking, looking part of the design process. So it's interesting to see the transition for who Betty Crocker is. So once you have an idea of where you want to go, then you need to start. And then this is where I'm suggesting uh, just use a pad of paper, or pencil or pen, and then just start to sketch out your ideas. They don't necessarily have to be that organized at first. So this is Henry Matisse, just looking at some different ideas for what he wants to do. And then the the final step of the process of the doing is the critique. And this is the critique. In this class, we have lots of discussion forums where you can um, see what the other work that the other students have done, the other people in the class, and then you can give some feedback, and it can give you some ideas on different ways that you could potentially solve the design problem. So so one of the other things I would suggest is just the people in your lives, your family, um, get some feedback from them. I wouldn't necessarily tell them that you're trying to get a critique. They're going to give you one probably anyway, but just say, give me some feedback on this. See if they can do some ideas. If we were doing this in class, um, have a couple of fun activities that we could do. There's and some of you, and I'll ask you. Oh, this is a good question about the magazines. We used to have everyone used to just have magazines, but we don't have magazines now. So I think this is a good. You can do this. I would say do the same thing: is pull pictures off of the internet, off of Pexels or just one of these free picture sites, and then you could cut those up and or tear those up or whatever you're doing to build those. I think that is, and you could use Smashing Magazine there to pull some of some of those pictures out. That's a good question. because this is in the last several years, it's always I always see that in comments. Some of the people that are in class that are closer to my age will have magazines tucked away someplace, but a lot of people just don't have magazines, and so that's a great question. You can use other things other than just magazines. We really need to change that in the. I am going to take a note on that. Sorry, I'm just taking a note. I need to get her to change that. So as you get, oh, I was going to go into the activity. So there's this spaghetti marshmallow challenge that we that we can do in class that I would do if we were in a face-to-face if we were in a face-to-face class. And so this is it shows you get tape, the string, and the idea is to balance, and it's hard to see. You can't even see it here. I wonder if I could see if I make this larger. You can see the marshmallow. You can barely see the marshmallow there. But the idea is so you get teams together, and whoever can have the marshmallow at the highest level is the winner. And I don't know if they explain it here, but the funny thing about this is um, if you put like college engineering students up against kindergartners, the kindergartners usually win on getting the marshmallow the highest. And one of the one of the reasons that the kindergartners get better is um, because the engineering students are trying to design stuff in their head before they just start to test out ideas. So this is why I like in the design press, you need to start testing ideas out early on. And so this is a fun activity to go through to see who can get the marshmallow the highest with the spaghetti. Has anyone ever done this before, like at work or? It's a fun challenge. If, like I say, if we were in class, we would do it. If you're, this is one of the things. If you're getting together with a bunch of friends at a party, I would say you probably need 15 or 20 people. But if you have that many people, you can. It's a fun activity to go through. So you just have to look up the spaghetti challenge, and they'll give you the constraints for how that works with the tape and the marshmallow. But it's a good process to go through because oh, there it is, the 20 sticks of dry spaghetti. Because as you go through the process, you just test things out. That's really the best way to do it, is start to test things out early to see how tall you can get or how far up you can get that marshmallow to suspend. And other people do funny things like they will try to tack it to the ceiling or something. You've got to you've got to set the rules on kind of how that works out. But this is the same type of a thing with the design process. Is you just got to be experimenting, and then when it's all finished, it's really good to sit around and talk with people about what they were thinking as they went through this process. So so that is actually it for tonight on the lecture part of the series. If um, now that we've got everyone here, does anyone else have any questions about any assignments? So does everyone know that Blick has, let's see, I will jump in here to the announcements. So does everyone know about this design kit from Blick? Oh, you know what? I didn't put in here. I didn't put the flyer. I didn't attach the flyer. I will get the, I will send, I thought it was right in there, but it's not. So one thing that I wanted to ask people about, this is how many of you have done any of this building images with AI, just the text to image stuff? Has anyone done that? So Sky, what did you use?
I used I think it's doll.e.
Oh,
Doll.
the Chat GPT version.
Yeah, but it's just for pictures instead, I think. Or maybe the Chat GPT also has one, but I'm not sure.
Oh no, the the Dolly is part of the that group that does Chat GPT.
Oh, okay.
It's the
I did.
same, it's the same company. So what I'm showing here is Adobe Firefly that, and then I'm just going to see it. It shows like the credits here that I've got. So I just tried a couple of different versions. I was looking for Sunset at the Beach. So Adobe Firefly, the cool thing about Adobe Firefly is if you're using Photoshop, you can use this as generative AI. So let's grab a picture. Let's just, for this diver, this will be, I'll just do that one. I don't, so one of these things, especially if you're doing it in an academic setting, like in a college class setting, if you pull something down from Pixabay, definitely give credit to the, say, I got it from Pixabay, and this is the user, this Franziska Steyer. So you can make sure to give these folks credit. So let's, we're going to open that. So we can take something here like this and generative fill. I'm just going to see if I just say shark, what it does. And then you can switch it up to, and it's crazy. It put a shadow down on the ground for that. So with these, oh, they added another man. I want to see if what it does on this.
Hey, Professor, I don't know if you have it on another screen, but I'm not.
Oh, sorry. I do have it on the screen. Oh, thank you for so the first thing that I did here, sorry, here's the shark. It added, and I'll do it right here. Clownfish. And so it's using Adobe's Firefly technology to throw these things in there. I actually like the shark better because it's got the I want to see what this does. See, I think they're getting in trouble for using using words that are copyrighted. And so you've got, like, for instance, I put in Volkswagen, it didn't like the Volkswagen. But then you can see it's added these images into the but this, sorry, wasn't showing this on the screen, but they're using the same thing here as we get with the Firefly images. I'm gonna try. Some of the things that it just likes to do, it it really likes these fantasy type places. So oh, I just wanted that one image upscaled. But it's kind of fun to play around with. I want to see if they're, yeah, it's not taking very many credits for what I'm doing on that. So, so this is just another thing you can, and I should show you over here. Where did we go? Back on. So this picture right here is my son, and this is just in my yard. But I added some of this stuff in Canva, but the gist of that, this was actually done before stuff was done in Photoshop with AI. And so it didn't really take that long to do this process for this piece of work there. So, but that's just something to think about with the AI. So, yeah, I think that's it for tonight. what is,
I have a question just to clarify. Um, what Sky asked. So you can do like a digital version for the getting to know you project.
oh, so you need to do, so you can start, if you don't have magazines, we should clarify, you can use pictures. I would say print out the pictures and then cut those up or rip those up.
Maybe I was reading it differently, but I thought, yeah. So you want like a physical representation, but we can use images from the internet, just physically printed out.
Correct.
Cool.
Yeah, that's good clarification.
I was thinking that, I guess my question was if we could like use like Canva or Photoshop to follow the same style as a magazine collage, but make it on a computer. But you want us to do it traditionally?
Yeah, do it. Yeah, do it like you see what the other ones, just because I think that's a lot of what we do in this class starts at the physical level before we move it into the digital stuff. Everything needs to be done physically before we move it into a digital situation. So,
Cool.
yeah,
That's
so
what I
yeah,
thought. I'm still thinking about it as we wrap up. I'm like, I just want to make sure you still want
yeah,
like a
yes, yeah, yeah, do it. Get some glue out, or sometimes people don't even use glue. They just lay the stuff down and take a picture of it. So, and you could possibly go to the library. I haven't done this for a while, but sometimes they're giving away magazines. Go to your local library and say, hey, do you have any magazines you can give away? And you could potentially get them from there. I mean, I like an excuse to go to the library, but that's just me. So no, I appreciate the questions. That'll make this process better for everyone. So that's it for tonight. Appreciate your questions, and we will see you all again next week. And just remember, I will be here on Monday. So if you want some questions, obviously I wasn't here this Monday because it was holiday, but I will be here on Monday if you want to just jump in and chat or ask about assignments or anything like that.
Thanks. Have a good night.
You too.